Lake Worth, Florida, aka Slump City, fifth most dangerous city in all of the state of Florida, man. 561 rip the guillotine is what they used to say. Born to drug addicted parents, September 30th, 1987. Home conditions were horrible, man. Infested with roaches. The kids had lice. Little Gracie Jane was molested by a family member. This is her story. Let's get into this. Man, what going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate y'all stopping by this channel, man. Hey, listen, do me a favor, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification one time so you'll be notified every time a video drops. So, hey, man, I got another real life story for y'all, man. And this is the story of Gracie Jane, man. It was a cousin of mine. And I just got a message for y'all young ladies, man, that y'all young, y'all want to live fast, you want to be a bad bee, man. Well, hey, listen, let me give you free game, man, and give it to you raw because listen, a fast life, you want to be a bad bee, well, guess what, man? Listen, I'm gonna give it to you raw, man, because this is what's guaranteed for you that want to live a fast life, that want to be a bad bee, because that's the exact influence my cousin Gracie had, man. And she was dead at 21. So let's get into it. So, man, like me and my cousin Gracie, man, we're all 87 babies, and you know what I'm saying, we was all born 5 months apart, man. So we had a good relationship growing up, man, and we all lived at grandma's house, and you know what I'm saying, and like I shared with y'all in the beginning, man, like she was born to drug addicted parents, um, was molested by a family member as a little girl. Uh, Poor Gracie, man, like from the jump, man, just didn't really have a shot at life, man. Like it was rough, man. Like, the stories that the family would tell me that, man, they would go to the house, the kids would be dirty, the house would be infested with roaches, they had lice, all kinds of food and stuff mashed in the carpet. It was bad, man. Um, you know what I'm saying? And cousin Gracie, she was born with a twin brother. You know what I'm saying? So both of them really had to go through that. Um, and it was tough, man. It was an unfortunate, man, for babies to have to live a life like that, man. Um, but anyway, fast forward, man, to some of my experiences, and this is coming from my perspective. Um, the life that Gracie Jane had lived, and so what I'm saying, we was, what I'm saying, young teenagers, man. You start getting involved with, boys and girls and stuff like that, and so like, Gracie, she wasn't she wasn't scared, man. Like she knew what she wanted, and you know what I'm saying. She was out there, and she was young, man, and she was giving it up young. And around this time, man, I remember us all living at grandma house, and Gracie would get caught sneaking out the house, going to sleep over with boys, and you know what I'm saying, go have sex with boys and stuff like that. Um, and that happened a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Like she would get involved with like older dudes, and you know what I'm saying, around this same time, like man, she started smoking weed. Like she take a shower and man, fog out the whole bathroom, and it was just like man. So it was just like, bro, and I was early, man. I'm talking about like man, like 12, 13. You know what I mean? And so she wound up moving out, living with her mom and stuff like that. And shortly after that, we noticed that, you know what I'm saying, she was getting involved with heavier drugs. And like once she got involved with the heavier drugs, got a little bit older. Now we like 17, 18, you know what I'm saying? She starts getting into the dance clubs, man, the strip clubs, and she's working at the jack shops, and you know what I'm saying? You mixing drugs and dancing and greed, and you know what I'm saying, promiscuity, all this other stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Shortly that led to prostitution. And man, her life was just, it was crazy, man. It was reckless, it was wild, man. Like, and that's the thing about Gracie, man. Like Gracie, she was a little tiny thing, man, but she was feisty, she was about it, like, And you know what I'm saying? It was like, bro, couldn't nobody control her, man. Like, no matter what you said or did, like, man, that's just who she was. She was gonna do what she wanted to do. You know, it doesn't matter if you whooped her behind or took her phone. None of that mattered, man. Listen, she was gonna do what she wanted to do, man, because she thought she was grown and couldn't nobody tell you nothing. I remember one time, man, me and her dad used to work together. We worked together for a number of years and stuff. And I remember, um, I remember the family was saying like she had gotten into an altercation at a McDonald's and she got all cut up. I'm saying, I'm like, what you mean cut up? It's like legit, like man, she got into an altercation with another female, and I guess the female had a box cutter, man. And so when we go over there to see how she doing, man. Her chest is all cut up, her face is cut up. Like I'm talking about, like her whole forehead was all cut up, like her face, her chest was all cut, man. It was wild, man. Like this girl, she did a number on Gracie, man. But hey, man, she just kind of laughed it off and was just like, hey, it is what it is, and it's crazy because, like, man, that's the mindset of the type of things that we go through, the things that we see. You know what I'm saying? Here, where we from, like that's just, it is what it is, man. That type of thinking, man, that type of environment, like, bro, it ain't normal, man. It's just not normal, man. But that's the influence, that's the mindset of the people, bro, uh, and it's dangerous, it's reckless. You know what I'm saying? And so, it with Gracie, man, it was things like that were becoming very, very often, man. Like she would just get into stuff. You would hear of her reckless behavior. Um, like I said, man, she was just wilding, man. And fast forward a year or two later, man, she gets involved with a heroin dealer. And like I told you, man, Gracie was feisty, man. She was about it. She would fight you. But for some reason, this dude would whoop her ass. And the whole family would ask the question, like, man, like, why do you put up with this stuff, bro? Like, man, this is Gracie we talking about, man. Like, you letting this dude dish rag you like that, bro? Like, what is going on, man? And that's the thing, man. Like, man, you get on them hardcore substances, man, and you just got a dude that's got an endless supply, man, because now he's got you under his thumb. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard, vicious cycle, man, to come up from under, man. And it's just like that's what it was with Gracie. Like this dude was feeding her the dope, and she had an addictive personality, man. And you know what I'm saying? She would claim that she loved this dude, and man, this dude, man, really, really did a number on her, man. And I remember them saying, man, Gracie's in the hospital, man. Like she got beat up real bad, man. Like dude left her butt naked in the canal, threw a bike on top of her head, man. And when we got to the hospital, man, like Gracie small, man. Like I said, she was small. You feel me? 5'1", 5'2", 5'3". I don't know. She was small though, man. And it was like, yo, but like 100, what, 130 pounds. But like, man, when we got to the hospital, man, her head looked like it belonged to a 400-pound like sumo wrestler, man. Like her head was so swollen, man. The doctor said that she had like a brain bleed, and it was just like, dang, man, like that's crazy, bro. Like you let this dude do that to you, man. Like how bad could it actually be for you for this type of stuff to happen, bro? And so, like I said, man, a lot of these situations, man, were reoccurring when it came to Gracie and this particular relationship, man. And when this happened, when this dude had left her in the canal butt naked with a brain bleed, man, like I remember her mom coming to me. I remember asking her mom, like, man, like, what we finna do about this? You know what I mean? And she's like, man, we got to do something. And I was just like, yo, send me an address. That's all I need is an address. So she couldn't give me no address, but she described a certain house. So, all right, me and my aunt, man, we coming to return the schedule from work one day, man. And it came across my mind. I'm like, hey, man, let's turn down this street because I think this is that house, man. So we pull up in front of the house, take it upon myself, man. I'm start smashing all the windows in the entire house, man. I'm yelling, man, come outside. Come outside, man. You gonna do this to a female, bro? Come outside. Do this to a man, bro. Nothing. So I hit up Gracie mama. I'm like, hey, man, I had smashed up the house. And she's like, well, what house? I'm like, such and such house on such and such street. And she's like, no, no, that's the wrong house. So I'm like, man, like I said, man, this stuff with Gracie, man, was just becoming reoccurring, and it's like, man, she would get into a situation with this dude, and then you would hear that they would be together again. And so it's like now it's just kind of like, man, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? But we would chill every now and then, man. And so one particular time, we chilling. You know what I'm saying? We rolling up smoke, and I take my gold teeth out. Getting ready to smoke. So we smoke, chill, talk, laugh, goo, hoo, y'all, whatever. Man, I'm thinking about it, man. Like the next day, I'm like, damn, man. Like I knew we was chilling, smoking, bro. I took out my gold teeth, I put it on the couch. I'm like, man, I can't find my gold teeth. So now I'm like, damn. I'm like, bro, like this chick done stole from me, man. She done stole my gold teeth, bro. So I call her, I question about her. I'm like, hey, man, like, what's up, bro? I ain't got it. I ain't got it. But to me, like that was like just like the final straw. Like, bro, I don't put my like freedom on the line for you, man. Like, you keep going back to this dude. Like, we had a heated, what I'm saying, back and forth. And I was just like, man, I'm done with you, man. Like, this is the last straw, bro. Like, you trying me like that. And it's crazy, man. Like, I remember the last time I saw Gracie alive, man. I'm heading east on 2nd Avenue in Kurt. And I see Gracie, man. She's walking down the street. And we see each other, man. I pass right by her in my truck. What's crazy, man, what hits me to this day, like, man, I look in my rearview mirror and she's turned around, maybe waiting to see if I'm gonna stop, maybe waiting to see if I'm gonna turn around and say something, but I never did. I just kept going. That was the last time I would see Gracie alive, man. And so around this time, man, Gracie mama, she wound up getting hauled off to prison. She goes to prison for like some fraud or something like that. So I think she get like 3 years or something. There's also around the time, man, we find out that, man, Gracie's HIV positive. And August 4th, I get the phone call. Hey, Gracie's in the hospital. I'm thinking, I done heard this before. I mean, she'll be all right. I mean, she's still gonna deal with dude. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But my mom's like, no, man, it ain't looking good this time. So I shoot on down to the hospital, man, and like I'll never forget the distinct senses, man, like the smell, the sounds of the machines. I walk in, man, and she's got all these tubes. She's on this machine that's breathing for her, and she's got all this grass in her hair, and just look, man, you just kind of just see, like, man, there's no life there, man. And from what we gathered, the situation that led up to this event was that, man, whoever was feeding her the drugs was also the person that had gave her the HIV. And so what we assume happened is that she told this individual, "Hey, man, like I could go this way with it because, man, you gave me a life-threatening disease, and like, you know what I'm saying, just give me the dope." They had an altercation, man. A dude threw her out the car, and it just so happens that anonymously, someone calls and says that there's a girl walking around at this park under the influence, walking around looking inebriated. So police show up because Gracie speedballing, man. She on heroin and cocaine, so her heart's going, but she just got thrown out of a car. You know what I mean? So the police show up, and Gracie puts up a fight. And just like how the police, you know what I'm saying, apprehend someone, they pull a George Floyd, you feel me? Put you down on your chest, handcuff your hands behind your back, trying to detain you, man. Because like I said, Gracie was a fighter, man. It didn't matter if you was family or police or the op, man. It didn't matter, man. So this police officer puts her in the back of the police car. He's filling out paperwork, doing the report, whatever, man. It comes a time where he's trying to get information, and she's not responsive. He looks in the back seat. He realizes, oh, man, this young lady's dead. So it takes her to the hospital, man. They hook her up to the breathing machine. Like I said, they got all these tubes coming out of her. Like I said, man, her mama's in prison. Her dad was in rehab. The doctors let us know that, hey, man, her bowels are going out. They keep giving out. There's no brain activity, man. Like, she's gone. So we're sitting here trying to get a hold of her mama in the prison system, man. We finally get her on the phone, and they're like telling her, like, hey, man, this is it. Like, she's like, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, man. So who do they leave it up to? They leave it up to her twin brother, man, to make that call, man. So we had to come to the acceptance, man, that, man, this life that Gracie lived, man, just caught up to her and took everything she had, man. So her brother had to make that call, man, to end her suffering. And so August 4th, man, when the doctors were pulling all them tubes and cutting off the machines, we said our last goodbye to Gracie Jane. Romans chapter 8, verse 6, man, it talks about, man, the ways of the flesh is death, but the ways of the spirit is life and peace. And so, man, young lady, you might be thinking, hey, man, you know what? I'm a bad bee. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Thinking you grown. You can go out here and do whatever you want, man. You think you want this attention from all these dogs out here. You think you want to experiment with drugs and alcohol and all these other different substances, man. This is what can happen to you. You can become addicted. And guess what? You develop a habit, you become addicted. You experience a little bit of withdrawal for the first time, man. And guess what? Now you're doing things so crazy, man. Things with no morals. You would sell yourself, man, to stay healthy now. Allow men to do disgusting things to you just so you can get a fix, so you can feel normal because you're addicted to substances. But it all started off as fun. It all started off with you thinking, hey, I'm a bad B, right? Young lady, you got a 50-50 chance, man. This life will chew you up and spit you out, man. This life has no remorse. These streets have no remorse. A life after the flesh is death, but a life after the spirit is life and peace, man. And listen, man, maybe you were molested as a kid, man. Maybe your parents were addicted, man. Maybe you didn't have the best child life growing up, man. But listen, you can overcome that, man. Don't let that be a crutch. Don't let that be an excuse as to why, man, you can't overcome or you can't persevere. Because you know what? You're not a bad bee. You're a daughter of the Most High God, man. You are precious. You are loved. You are valuable. You are worth it. Don't let what all these guys out here dictate, man, what you really are or convince you of what you really are. Yeah, maybe you have done some foolish things, man. Maybe you got a bunch of numbers under your belt. Maybe you got a high body count. Hey, man, forget all that. Just want to let you know, man, that Jesus loves you, man. So, hey, listen, man, pick the right path. And just know, man, that you got brothers and sisters that are out here praying for you, rooting for you, and know that you are not alone. One statistic says that, man, 1 in every 4 girls and 1 in every 6 boys have been sexually molested, man. And because out of fear of not wanting to tell someone, out of the embarrassment of it, man, it leads them to drugs, it leads them to depression, it leads them to promiscuity. Hey, listen, man, I know what it's like. You don't got to be alone. You're not alone. This is Gracie's story. But hey, man, if you can appreciate this story, maybe you know a young lady, maybe it's your daughter, your niece, your sister, your mama that's going down this same path. Share this with them. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification, man. Because, hey, bro, we not sweeping nothing under the rug, man. We here to let people know that, man, you're not alone, man, and that Jesus loves you. You already know what it is, man. It's Big Bro Kingdom Major. You let them know Big Bro said it. Yeah.